Alright, hello everyone. This is Dr. Tushar Mehta. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in your faculty of orthopedics. The first thing that we're going to discuss today is the orthopedics FMG CBT questions. चलिए तो शुरुआत करते हैं. The first question which is asked here is most common nerve injured in supracondylar fracture humerus. See, let me put it very clear in front of you, all of you today, that when we talk about most common nerve injured in supracondylar fracture humerus, we need to understand four things. Number one, which is overall most common nerve injury, which is the most common nerve injury in posteromedial displacement, which is the most common nerve injury in posterolateral displacement, which is the most common nerve injury in anterior displacement. So overall, if they ask you the most common nerve injury, the answer is always anterior interosseous nerve, which is a motor branch of median nerve. In posteromedial displacement, it is radial nerve. In posterolateral displacement, anterior interosseous nerve, motor branch of median nerve. In anterior displacement, which we call as the flexion type as well, over there it is basically the ulnar nerve. So these are the four common MCQs which have been asked, which will be asked, so you should know. अब यहाँ पे in the question they have asked you most common nerve injury. They have not mentioned any displacement. So obviously they are talking about what? They are talking about overall most common nerve injury. So answer will be anterior interosseous nerve. Second question, below X-ray shown is off. I mean, there is no doubt about it that we are dealing with distal end of radius. We are dealing with a condition which is epiphysiometaphyseal. Alright, so we are dealing with epiphysiometaphyseal. We're dealing with a condition which has a very well-defined geographical lytic lesion. So this is a well-defined geographical lytic lesion. Now not only it's a well-defined geographical lytic lesion, but one more thing, you need to understand that we have something here which is called as soap bubble appearance. Single air-filled sinusoid is what you can see. And of course, patient looks to be skeletally mature. Patient looks to be more than 18 years of age. So what diagnosis are we dealing with? We are dealing with giant cell tumor, also what is called as osteoclastoma. Now what one needs to understand is that in osteosarcoma, you will see sunray appearance. Well, I don't think that they've shown you any sunray appearance. In osteosarcoma, you see Codman's triangle. Again, I don't think इसमें कुछ ऐसा दिखाया गया है. Here you will see onion skin or onion peel appearance. Plus, most of important is that 5 to 15 year age group would have been mentioned and skeletally mature. X-ray should have been given and diaphyseal area should have been involved. Nothing like this has happened. Multiple myeloma, come on, you can't have a single lytic lesion like that. So answer has to be GCT. The most common fracture due to fall on outstretched hand in elderly. I'll make it very simple for all of you. Most common fracture due to fall on outstretched hand. I repeat everyone. Most common fracture due to fall on outstretched hand. It is different in different population. If they ask you children, it is supracondylar fracture humerus. If they ask you in adults, then the answer is fracture scaphoid. If they ask you in elderly, then the answer has to be Colles fracture. Okay? So these are three different answers according to three different age groups. What has been asked in the question? Elderly. So technically, what should be the answer in elderly? Answer should be Colles fracture. Let's talk about the fourth question. So identify the following clinical test here. See, when we talk about this test, please try to understand that McBurney test is for meniscal tear. Okay, that is the first basic thing what one needs to know. Now these are for, this is for ACL, while this is for PCL. Okay. But that's not important. If you are sitting on the dorsum of the foot with the knee in 90-degree flexion, See, if the knee is in 90-degree flexion, you are sitting on the dorsum of the foot, you are holding the proximal tibia in such a way that your two thumbs are under the tibial tuberous tibial, your fingers are embracing the posterior part of the proximal leg, and you are pulling tibia towards yourself with respect to femur. You are doing anterior drawer test. Please note this arrow. So this is an anterior draw. They're exerting an anterior draw over tibia with respect to femur. So this is an anterior draw test for ACL tear positive. If this arrow would have been reversed, I would have said posterior draw test. Now, okay, so answer is clear. Answer is anterior draw test. It cannot be Latchman test. I'll tell you why. Because in Latchman test, the position of knee is always 30-degree flexion. Okay, now last question. The last deformity to get corrected in clubfoot. See, please try to understand what are the deformities. To remember the deformity, you need to remember a mnemonic, and that mnemonic is here in front of you, where C stands for cavus, A stands for adduction, V, it's not varus, V stands for inversion, where adduction plus inversion is combined together to be called as varus. E stands for equinus, right? Now, which is the first deformity to get corrected? Equinus. Which is the last deformity to get corrected? Cavus. This is the sequence also. Which is the toughest deformity to be corrected? Equinus. Which is the most common deformity to reoccur? Answer is equinus. So everywhere answer is equinus. With this, we come towards the end of this discussion. I hope most of you got all of them right. So I wish you all the best for your exams, for your upcoming exams. Keep preparing, study well, work hard, take care of yourself, everyone around you. If still anybody has any query, feel free to put it on WhatsApp. I will try to help you as much as I can. Thank you so much, guys. All the best.